So, hi! So, back with another more serious video, and the last time we talked about how to stop obsessing over someone, and I got requests on how to get over a breakup. Someone said how to get over almost relationships. So I think almost relationships are the same as relationships. It's still a loss. So today we're just going to talk about how to get over a breakup in general, and I think this will work whether you're a guy, you're a girl, you're straight, you're not straight, whether it was a long relationship or whether it was a short-lived almost relationship. I think hopefully you will find these 6 tips helpful. Number 1, and this one I learned over the years, is to stop talking about it. Okay, I know that's kind of weird because when I was much younger, when I would go through a breakup, I wouldn't talk about it at all, which I think is not good because you do need an outlet. But I think not to over talk it is also important. For example, talk about it to people close to you, your best friend, your mom, your sister, and then past a certain time, I actually think you should stop talking about it. That's 1. 2 is stop talking about it to anyone who will listen, because not everyone gives good advice, especially if they don't really know you. If they don't know the person, that's another thing, but if they don't even know you and they don't really understand you, they're gonna give you some not great advice, and you really don't need not great advice at this point when you're feeling really vulnerable. The other reason why I choose, and I think it's better to not overly talk about it, is because the more you talk about it, the more you give the breakup more meat, if you know what I mean. So you talk about it past a certain point. If you keep talking about it, it's literally like flogging a dead horse. You should just stop, and then try to cut it off and move on. Which brings me to the next step, which is to block them. Okay, I admit I don't actually, well, I have physically blocked one ex, but that's because he was weird. I don't personally actually feel the need to block them, but I do think it helps to unfollow them for a while. It's more because in this day and age, with social media and Instagram, it's very easy not just to stalk someone, but also to stalk someone stalking you. In case you don't know what this means, before you just creep on someone by checking out their social media, now you can creep and see whether they've been creeping on you. Have they liked my posts? Have they been watching my IG stories? I think that's very bad. So it just feeds the obsession loop. So if you unfollow them for a bit, then Instagram will stop serving you pictures of them, and even if they were to, I guess, watch your Insta stories, the algorithm works such that if you're not following them, it would be less likely that their names would be at the top of the people who watch your story, which is always good. You need to stop creeping on them and stop creeping on them creeping on you. Third point, unfollow their friends and family. People who are really close to them. We all have that friend who likes to post everything on social media. So if they have a friend like that who's become your friend, who will post every gathering, every outing, so you've unfollowed them. But if you don't unfollow their friends, then you're gonna keep seeing their face pop up. And I'm personally a visual person, so I don't actually like if I have a visual reminder of this person, then it doesn't help the healing process. So I would say you don't have to block or unfollow them and their friends and family forever, but for the short while you're going through the breakup, I think it might be helpful to just cut off that sort of contact and that sort of reminder. Tip number 4 for me is to make a list, and actually make a few lists. So I would make the ugly list. So the ugly list is when, I do this a few times actually, when you're really angry and upset about why they broke up with you, write a list of why they're bad for you, what you cannot stand about them, just anything negative that's ugly about them and the relationship, just write it down. It's cathartic, but it's also a good reminder. So don't burn the list, just keep the list with you. And every time you're tempted to call them or text them again, take out the list. When you're feeling just a little bit better, I would make the looking forward happy list. It's a mouthful, whatever you want to call it, but for me it's why life is better post-breakup, right? I dated this one guy who was very, in some ways, unavailable, emotionally but also physically. He would say that he's very busy with work and stuff like that, and then he wouldn't make proper plans with me on the weekend, and because I wanted to see him, I would kind of wait and see if he'd make plans with me, and it was annoying. For someone who's very extroverted and very sociable, I was practically keeping my time for him even though he didn't ask me to. So something that went on that list is I have my weekends back. I could plan my weekend, plan my weekends, plan my life, and so write a happy looking forward list. So if in case you don't have to, to make plans with him, you don't have to wait for him, you don't have to feel jealous. Maybe he made you feel insecure. I'm saying he, by the way, just because I date boys, but you know, if you date girls, it could be a she. Just write down everything that is good to look forward to, like I never have to feel insecure again, or I have my weekends back again, or maybe you hated his best friend, I never have to see his best friend again, things like that. So my tip number 5 is also a list, but of a different sort. So I'm a music person and I actually make a breakup playlist. In the aftermath of a breakup, if I were to listen to the radio, I would hear songs that would remind me of this person, and then I would be very, very, very triggered. So what I do is I actually make a few lists depending on the state I'm in. So there's the breakup list, playlist, which if you want to cry, some people watch movies, I listen to music, then you make that playlist, cry, get it out of your system, put a set amount of time, maybe like for me I give it a week. And then after that, the breakup playlist part 2 or version 2 is a bit more like why you shouldn't get back together, slightly angrier songs. If you're curious or keen to see the kind of songs that I have on my breakup list, let me know, I'm happy to share them. And then when some time has passed, then I make a power list. So this list is like, you're kind of over them, but to remind yourself not to call them and to keep moving forward. I think one song that is very good for this list right now that I wish were around when I was going through a breakup is Dua Lipa's IDGAF. So bad for acronyms. But if you know the song, it's about someone who has broken up with someone and it's kind of telling you why not to go back or why you shouldn't go back or something like that. But songs like that give you that sort of power and certainty, that's what I would do as well. Tip number 6, and finally, just get out. Okay, so you've done the wallowing. You know, I think in the book she talks about mornings. Like, so every morning she says set 15 minutes to let yourself mourn and cry. I actually think that's quite a good idea. And then after that, there's a cutoff. Okay, 15 minutes, you gotta stop. But I would say once you're over that mourning period, I give myself a week to really cry and feel sad, and then after that I tell myself, I will still feel sad, I might still cry, but I'm like, okay, I tell myself I got to properly move on. So my tip number 6 is really to get out. I highly recommend 2 things to get over a breakup. One is to work out, because it's been proven that you will release endorphins that help you, plus you will have a nicer body which will make you feel better about yourself, which is always a good thing. Plus you feel a lot fitter and happier and have a lot more energy. Even if you hate exercise, I would say force yourself to exercise. I am convinced that there is at least one sort of exercise for everyone. Really, really, like the people who don't like to sweat, they could do a very slow form of yoga or Pilates, for example. People who need like a lot of hyper things, they could do like bounce, or they could do a spin class. I really, really think that there's something for everyone. People who don't like to feel warm, they can do a water sport, swim. You know, there's something. I'm convinced that you will find something, but if you don't get out and try, you will never know. The other thing that I encourage doing is to volunteer, because if you're feeling really crappy, it's also good to be able to help someone else. It's like channeling the bad energy to something good, and it's also a way to remind yourself that, you know, life is actually pretty damn good. You just lost, yes, someone who loved you or whatever, but there are people who really need help, and it's good to channel your energy there. Okay, so those are my tips on how to get over a breakup. These are my personal tips. Try it and test it over a few breakups. This video was inspired because some of you asked for it, but also because I was sent this book. This is not a promotional video. It's just that I actually read the whole book and I thought it was quite interesting. I think it's written by the editor of a magazine. What was it? Cosmopolitan? Cosmopolitan, that's right. She wrote a relationship column, and so the writing is a bit tongue-in-cheek, it's a bit cheeky, it's very personal. I actually am not going through a breakup, but I think that if I were going through a breakup, this would have been useful. So I want to give it to you. Yeah, it's a copy that I read, I admit. But sharing is caring, so I read it. It's still very gently used. I want to pass it on to you to help you get over your breakup, and maybe you want to win it for a friend who's going through a breakup. It comes with a few extras like this notepad that says, write everything. It actually says everything you want to say to your ex. Don't reread it, just write it, finish it, then destroy it. So there are some tips like that she talks about that I do as well, but I've distilled mine into the 6 tips that really work for me. But I think this is not a bad idea also. Like, basically it's like writing your ex like an angry love letter, an angry hate letter, whatever, and then burning it. Please don't give it to your ex. So it comes with this, and then it comes with this postcard, which is quite cool. Breakup boss. What would a boss do? Name of temporarily broken-hearted here. So this is to give to friends. And then there's this thing that's quite cool. Happily single, not looking. Unfortunately, I am married. Off the market, guys. But if you want to win this book, Drop me a line in the comment box below. Let me know the ways that you get over a breakup, you know, just so that we kind of can help everyone out. It's so that other people can see your comments and hopefully they will be helped by it as well. I will pick one winner and I'll be in touch to tell you how you can win this book. Otherwise, I do recommend, you know, checking out this book if you're going through a breakup. Right, that's all. Let me know if you like this sort of, you know, more heart-to-heart relationship sort of video. And if so, let me know what else you want me to talk about. I think I've gotten some requests for like, can you talk about, because I wrote an article before about dating an introvert, because I'm an extreme extrovert, dating my husband who's an introvert. Gotten some requests for that, so let me know if that's something that you want me to talk about, or anything really, any sort of relationship problem or something. I'll just give you my personal view on it. Let me know in the comment box below. Otherwise, I will catch up with you on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Bye! And good luck.